Alright, let's try this again. Good grief. Can't get my stuff together this morning. But it is December the 30th, Tuesday, December the 30th, 5 a.m. So we're trying a morning hunt this morning, which is the first time we've tried that this late season. But I do love hunting these late season mornings, especially on a big cold front like we have today. A couple days ago it was 72, 73. Now it's 15 degrees, bluebird, calm, a little bit of frost. So on these type of mornings you can definitely catch them up on their feet after daylight. So that's what we're going to try to do this morning. We got a southwest wind, which is perfect for where we're going. We're way up in the hills this morning trying to catch these deer, you know, off on the fringes of these big blocks of timber, and trying to catch them in these oaks, filtering back to bed. And I did actually get a little bit of intel the other day of a real nice 10 point that was coming out of this block one evening last week. So we'll see. I do have a little bit of history in this spot. I think I killed a buck in here on in the middle of October 5 or 6 years ago, and that's really the last time I've been in here. So it's a great spot, sets up well for a southwest wind. This place does get hammered by people, but being, you know, most of that pressure is more centered around the rut. So late season you can, you know, you'll run into folks, but hopefully no one on a Tuesday morning when it's 15 degrees. So that's kind of the play. Big long hillside and draw that they like to bed in with a southerly wind, and it's kind of like everything else here. It's zero or hero. I could see us seeing 15 different deer filter through. I could see us getting skunked. I could see us seeing just the buck that we're after. Any of those possibilities wouldn't surprise me. It's light in 2 hours, so we got to get moving. We're gonna take the bike in. Not that we really have to. It's not that far, but I brought it with me, so might as well use it. All right, this is the rig, the Walmart special. I ain't got one of them Rambos or whatever you want to call them, but a little rack on the back. One strap with all of this junk. Camera gear, stand, sticks. And then I got the bow in the day 6 sling over my shoulder. Kind of got these rigged up where I can put a bow in there, but I'd rather just sling it with a good sling. So that's the rig. We'll cruise in there, take us a couple minutes. It is dead quiet, so we're going to have to be extra covert. So let's get this thing going and let's get in the tree. Get all the way out here. Realize I forgot my phone at the truck. I'm gonna drop all my junk here, then try to boogie back on the bike. I can't believe I did that, just got so much junk. Forgot it. So let me race back, get the phone. We gotta get in the tree. We're running behind. Yeah, we are late now. Oh my God. Finally made it in here. Took a lot longer than I anticipated, but we slid in here. It is dead quiet. Might have made too much noise, but I don't know, you gotta try. But we're on the leeward side of this big ridge. Got a perfect southwest wind that's coming over the top. And as that sun comes up, our thermals will be pulling up from the bottom, and they kind of meet right on this elevation line where we're set up. The idea is to catch these deer coming in here to bed from the west. There's some cattle pastures and stuff like that they're probably, on the fringe of first thing in the morning, especially as cold as it is today. Maybe as that frost burns off, something will come filtering through here. A lot of red oak, shingle oak, black oak, a little bit of everything in here. So obviously this world are chowing down, but this is the same tree where I shot that buck 5-6 years ago, back in October. I'll show you whatever we see. Alright, it's about 8:30. And the sun's getting up, kind of burning off this frost. You can really feel the thermals pulling up the ridge, which is perfect. Got that prevailing wind coming over the top. Thermals pulling up from the bottom, kind of meeting right at this elevation. With that being said, we haven't seen anything either, so it's a good setup. Just a matter of catching one that is calling this ridge home this morning. Kind of hoping that as the sun keeps rising, burning off this frost, that we might catch a little bit of movement later in the morning. It's kind of the plan anyway, but wind's really pulling up, going straight up. So if anything does come in, should be pretty bulletproof from a wind standpoint. Bat. Oh my gosh. Dead deer. not gonna say I called that, but I just called that. The thermals are pulling up. Sun's burning that frost off. I knew it's exactly where they needed to come from. Wind's coming over the top, thermals coming up. They meet right here on the trail. He was a little higher on the ridge than I anticipated, but came through perfect, all by himself. Late season, December 30th of a morning too. That's not the 10 point, but I mean, absolutely textbook. Late season public land. This place gets absolutely pounded. And he walked through here like he owned the place. Got enough of him in that front leg. He's laying there stone dead. Apologize. I hit record on it and my SD card is full. So you don't get any of this angle from the shot. But we got him. He's laying right here. Called a buddy to come help me, but we're gonna climb down. Go take a look at him. I can't believe he just fell right there. The deer maybe went 25 yards. Maybe. Late season. Public land. Whitey. That's cool. Here he is. I've recruited a little bit of help. Got Tyler behind the camera. He was in town. Decided he wanted to come help me drag out a deer for some reason, but just kind of go back into the setup a little bit. So essentially what I'm hunting here is like, I'm in these oaks where they're kind of staging before they go to bed. But I think the secret kind of sauce to this hunt was, one was the conditions. Had a major cold front come through, which kept these deer up on their feet a little bit later in the morning. And on top of that was this heavy frost with this real high pressure. The second that sun kind of came up and melted that frost is when this guy started to move. No doubt he was out on the fringes, feeding on whatever, but I knew when that frost got burnt off and those thermals started to suck up the ridge, it kind of creates like a whatever you want to call it, a wind tunnel, and it's always on the upper 1/3 of these big ridges in here. And then I think that's when these deer really feel most comfortable moving, is when they get that good thermal pull and that wind is really kind of collecting on this elevation line. And it was spot on. I mean, the sun got up. I'd just done an interview and I looked up and he was hitting a tree, and he was doing everything right. Everything was in his favor, so we thought. And as you can see, I mean, he was totally comfortable, did not have a clue we were here. And he kind of came through and the trail kind of splits there, and he took the higher trail, which made it a further shot. Ranged him, kind of guessed him at 45, somewhere in there. And no doubt the shot was low, but that's kind of a testament to the day 6 setup. I'm shooting a Matthews Lift X 29.5, 70-pound limbs, but I'm shooting the HD 300s. It went straight through the middle of his shoulder. I know it was real low. The penetration there got through that front leg just enough and just essentially just poked his heart. The setup kind of saved me, and he went 25 yards right here and tipped over backwards. But just an awesome ending to my season, and kind of this late season video blog kind of format was fun to do. Back to kind of the overall theme was, hunting these late season overlooked and kind of natural food sources. You're not going to see a ton of deer just because, if you don't have that option, doesn't mean your season's over. There's still a lot of good hunting to be had, although it might not be as eventful, and you're not going to see a ton of deer. You can obviously still fill a tag, and fun hunt. Thanks for watching, and maybe we'll try to keep these coming for next fall.